Racist officer breaks into black family's home to harass them, but he was shocked when the chief's daughter walked in. Before we begin, subscribe to our channel for more thrilling stories you won't want to miss. The neighborhood was quiet, the kind of quiet that feels staged. Officer Graham Cole, 39, rolled down his cruiser window, the faint sound of cicadas breaking the stillness. A dispatch came through, possible break-in, 224 Maple Street. Cole smirked. "Yeah, sure," he muttered, flicking off his dashcam. He wasn't answering a call. He was making one. The front door of the Henderson family's home cracked open under the weight of his boot. Inside, chaos, shouts, confusion, a terrified family jolted from sleep. Marcus Henderson, an engineer and father of two, held his hands up immediately. "We didn't do anything." Cole's flashlight burned into Marcus's eyes. "Quiet. You fit the description. No warrant. No cause. Just hate wearing a badge." He shoved Marcus to the floor, hand already on his weapon, adrenaline masking fear with authority. Then, a voice behind him. Soft, unfamiliar. "Female. Officer Cole?" He spun around, startled. Standing in the open doorway was a woman in plain clothes, Lena Carter, 28, calm but wide-eyed. She raised her hands slightly. "I was on patrol nearby. I heard the call." Cole's grip on his gun loosened slightly, then tightened again when she added, "I'm Lena Carter, Chief Carter's daughter." For a second, only the sound of heavy breathing and the hum of the police radio filled the space. Marcus, still on the floor, looked between them, hope flickering in his eyes. "Please ma'am," he broke in. "We didn't do anything." Lena's gaze snapped to Cole. "You turned your body cam off. You said nothing." The silence was louder than the sirens that began to approach in the distance. Backup arrived, 2 cruisers, floodlights cutting through the dark. Cole barked orders, trying to regain control, but Lena stepped in front of him. "You need to leave this scene, officer. Now." Her tone wasn't a suggestion. Cole's jaw tightened. "You think Daddy's going to save you if you lie for them?" Lena's face hardened. "I'm not lying for anyone." An hour later, the Hendersons were escorted to safety. Cole sat in his cruiser, hands trembling as he watched Lena walk toward her car, radio pressed to her ear. He couldn't hear her words, but he recognized the tone. Controlled, official. Then the dashcam light on his cruiser flickered back to life, by itself. A voice played from the onboard recorder. "Officer Graham Cole, previous flagged complaint, use of force, case pending review." Cole's eyes went wide. He reached for the power switch, but the screen froze on a frame from 10 months ago, a face he recognized. His own. And standing beside him, the chief's daughter. A storm battered the city. Inside a gray concrete building, fluorescent lights buzzed overhead as Lena Carter sat across from Captain Ruiz, Internal Affairs. On the desk between them, a flash drive sealed in an evidence bag. "Ruiz, you're saying he broke in without cause?" "Lena, yes, sir. And I have footage." She slid the drive forward, her hand trembling. She'd found the backup file, the one Cole thought he'd erased. Ruiz inserted it into his laptop. Static. Then the flicker of a police body cam feed. Cole's voice came through first, sharp, commanding. Then the crash of the Hendersons' door. Then something Lena didn't expect, her own voice. From months earlier. "Cole, on video, you sure your father's okay with this?" Lena, on video, faintly, "He doesn't know. He just wants results." Ruiz paused the video. The room fell silent. Lena's throat tightened. "That's not real. That's been edited." But Ruiz didn't look convinced. "We'll verify it. Until then, you're on temporary leave." Her badge hit the table with a dull clink. Outside, rain blurred the city lights as Lena walked to her car. The storm mirrored the chaos inside her mind. She didn't remember saying those words, but the timestamp didn't lie. That same night, Officer Graham Cole stood at the end of a long, deserted pier. His uniform was gone, replaced by a black hoodie and an unmarked phone in his hand. A call connected. "It's done." She turned it in. A deep voice replied, "Good. That means she's playing her part." Cole's hand trembled. "You said this would clear me." "It will. If she believes it." The line went dead. He turned toward the dark water and saw a figure watching him from the shadows. A flash of lightning, the reflection of a badge. At 2 a.m., Lena returned to the precinct, unable to sleep. She needed answers. She logged into the restricted evidence database. One folder caught her eye, Operation Birchfield. It was password locked, but when she entered her own credentials, it opened instantly. Inside were dozens of surveillance files, addresses, case numbers. every one linked to a suspected burglary call, and every one marked closed by Officer G. Cole, until she reached the last file, labeled simply, Carter Residence. She clicked it. The video began in silence. A dimly lit room. The camera panned slowly across family photos, her father, the chief, and herself. Then a shadow stepped into frame. Cole's voice whispered from behind the lens. "You thought you were investigating me, but you were part of it from the start." The feed distorted, screen tearing with static. Then, one final frame froze on screen, the chief's office door. A single piece of paper taped to it. Internal Affairs Investigation, case closed. The lights flickered in the real-world office around Lena. Somewhere behind her, a door creaked open. Rain still dripped from Lena's coat as she stepped into her father's office. Chief Carter stood at the window, the city skyline framed behind him like a wall of ghosts. He didn't turn when he spoke. "You've been in my files." His voice was calm, but it cut like glass. "Lena, you lied to me. Operation Birchfield? It's targeting families who never even called for help. Chief Carter, it's cleaning up a mess you wouldn't understand." On the desk sat a folder marked classified, internal use only. Inside were mugshots, dozens, every one of the victims of mistaken raids. At the bottom, a signature, L. Carter. Lena froze. "That's my name." Her father finally turned. "It's your authorization code. Someone used it." Her phone buzzed. Unknown ID. When she answered, there was only breathing, then a familiar whisper. "Cole, you're too close. The files weren't mine. Check the timestamps." Static. A click. The call ended. She pulled up the digital log. Every entry from Operation Birchfield had been uploaded from a secure IP inside headquarters. At times when she was off duty. But one entry was different. Timestamp. Last night, 11:42 p.m. Uploader, Chief Carter. Lena followed the trail to the basement evidence room, a place she hadn't seen since academy training. Dust, old boxes, flickering bulbs. In the corner, an archive terminal hummed to life when she keyed her access code. Hundreds of encrypted case videos flooded the screen, most labeled pending review. One file glowed red, recently modified, project. She clicked play. The footage showed Cole standing beside her father in a warehouse full of seized body cams and corrupted drives. Her father spoke first. "Every story has two sides. We decide which one survives." Cole nodded. The rain had stopped hours ago, but the streets still shimmered under the orange glow of morning. A police siren wailed in the distance, fading into silence. In a small apartment overlooking the city, Lena Carter sat alone, staring at a laptop screen. The upload from the night before was complete. Every file, every raid, every hidden order. Exposed. Her phone buzzed, unknown number. She didn't answer. Instead, she clicked open her inbox. A single new message waited, with no sender listed. Subject, "Welcome to command." Body, "Decisions must still be made. People must still be protected. Someone has to lead." Below it, an attachment, Operation Birchfield, reactivated. Lena's reflection stared back at her from the screen, tired, hollow, uncertain. She whispered to herself, "If you destroy the system, what takes its place?" Outside, dawn broke over the city, light spilling through the blinds, cutting across her face in fractured lines of shadow and gold. The laptop chimed. A new folder appeared on the desktop. Title, Directive 1, Begin Again.